What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Ohio Sports Talk. I'm Doug. That's Jordan. And Jordan, we are welcomed by a special guest today on our Memorial Special episode. Since we won't be here Monday, go ahead and introduce our guest, Jordan.
This is a guest. His name is Mike Ursery. He was a sergeant to me in the United States Marine Corps. We did some time together. We went a lot of places, a couple in the desert, a couple in the freezing ass cold, a lot of good adventures. I'm proud to have him on today. Mike, introduce yourself to our fans here, and we'll take it from there, brother.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for having me on.
Of course.
It's really cool concept what you're doing tonight, and glad to be a part
of it. Mike, so, obviously you guys have that connection through the military, the Marine Corps, that kind of stuff. Obviously, Thank you so much for your service and, what you've done for the country. That, that can't ever be repaid. So we want to definitely let you know that it means a lot to us. What took you to the military, Mike?
My family has a large military background. I have a brother who currently serves as a captain in the Navy. My father is a retired lieutenant commander. I had two grandfathers who served in World War II. I had an uncle who served, actually two uncles who served. So, it's very, very common in my family. Around the time I was getting ready to graduate high school, I felt like I was done with school. I had continued education, graduating, I probably would have flunked out. So I decided to go military, and I spoke to the four branches. The Marines, of course, looked the coolest to me, so that's the one that I chose. 17-year-old kid, go figure.
So you enlist. Where are you sent to get your journey started?
Well, it started in San Diego. I did boot camp for 13 weeks there. Graduated, did some more training at Camp Pendleton, California after that. I was assigned to field artillery in the Marine Corps, and I did training for that in Forest Hill, Oklahoma, and then I was sent to my first duty station in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I have a one deployment in the Mediterranean. Of course, I also have a deployment to Iraq and to Afghanistan. That deployment to the Mediterranean was that was one of the last deployments before 9/11. Matter of fact, 9/11 happened while we were on that deployment. We were on the tail end of it on our way back when that day came. And can't remember where I was going with this.
You got it. Your deployment obviously got interrupted by 9/11. Does that change and you go straight into that? What happens there? Not being a civilian, not having an idea of what really takes place. What changes when you're, go into wartime? Pretty much.
Oh, well, yeah. As I was saying with that, that was one of the last deployments before 9/11 happened, and that was just a lot of stops around Europe. We stopped in a few places around Spain, a couple in Italy, France. We were actually in Turkey. No, we had just left Turkey the day before 9/11. And like I said, we were on the tail end of that deployment, headed back to the States. The unit, the Marine Expeditionary Unit that was sent out to relieve us was already on their way. So the plan was just for them to, continue on, relieve us. We go back to the States, and of course, that MEU went to Afghanistan.
Okay. And I'm guessing there's, obviously a lot of nationalistic pride. Then did you re-up then to go back out?
Yeah, I did. And that was when I went to Iraq.
Okay. Go ahead, Jordan.
Then somewhere down the line, he got with 1st Battalion 10th Marines, and I rolled in as a boot with a big sucker on my head. Got yelled at a few times. Got broke in, a few good push-ups, a few good PTs, and I met Sergeant Ursery. Subsequently enough, most of our meetings and our conversations we're all about sports. We had a sports group that hung out by the smoke pit, which I used to smoke back in the day. So used to have a few stogies, and we would literally talk for as long as until they split the group up and we had to go to work.
Yeah.
Everything, and this is before the Chargers screwed Ursery over. But we would talk NFL football for hours on end, and who was going to do what. He was a bigger hockey fan than I was, so he did get me into the hockey game a little bit.
Jordan,
So
Jordan.
yes,
So around the time back then was when the whole relocation to LA talk started. Do you remember me telling all of you that if they moved, I was done? And all of you said,
110%.
all of you said no way, because you knew how much I love that team.
So then let me jump in. So the Chargers end up moving a couple years later here, and you've given up on the Chargers. Let's transition into your fanhood. What's it like not doing something on Sunday? That just seems so foreign to me because I've been a Browns fan for 30 years. It's just like if that time of year, the fall onto the winter, I know what I'm doing on Sunday. What do you do on Sundays now? What's your fix in the middle of not having the Chargers anymore?
I mean, I still watch football. I'm not a fan of the team. I live in Maryland, so I get Commies games and I get Ravens games. I like watching Lamar. He's amazing.
He is something.
We had to suffer through that, Mike.
Yeah. Us AFC North guys, we get to see probably a little too much of Lamar.
More than usually.
Yeah, for sure. His talent is off the charts. So do you like watching Baltimore because they're a little bit better, or is there an in between with the Commanders and the Ravens?
I'd say I like watching Baltimore. They're a little bit better. They're more fun to watch. I don't have loyalty to any team, so I just want to watch good football. I will say it's a little weird. I used to despise the Chiefs. Today, the Chiefs are a dynasty, and I don't care. I have no feelings about it. It's so strange. But
Mike, I got enough hate for the both of us. It's all right.
All right. From year to year, it gets harder to get excited about it. Like during the summer when big NFL news breaks, I'm late to it. It just, it's just, I don't know if I'm just jaded, but I don't have that feeling anymore.
So shout out to Drew Garrison, does obviously a fantastic job covering the Bengals, doing all of his work. Thoughts with him and his father. Hell of a guy, Drew is. Thanks for your support, Drew. Mike, you mentioned to me growing up in Arkansas, I just want to, return to something you mentioned earlier. You went out to San Diego first. What was it like going from Arkansas to San Diego? Was that a world, like just a different world, or how did that feel leaving somewhere like Arkansas and going out there?
Well, when I went to San Diego, I was confined to Marine Corps Recruit Depot, so it's definitely a different world.
Yeah.
The depot there is right next to the airport in downtown San Diego. So imagine being there, hating it there, and watching planes take off all day.
You're thinking you're wishing you could be on one of those planes majority of the time.
Yep.
So looking at your Arkansas, growing up there, Jordan mentioned to me, and you mentioned big Razorbacks fan. Is that now kind of them and the Padres? Is that your teams? Those are your ride or dies type teams, or what do you how do you feel about the Razorbacks?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. A huge Hog fan. Come from a big family of Hog fans. I was raised on it. So, it would take something drastic, I think, for that to break. The same with the Padres. I've been watching them since I was 4 years old. When I was 4, my dad took me to my first game, and I fell in love with it.
It's kind of crazy how you end up in San Diego. You're a Padres fan, all that. It's just a weird way that all worked out. Do you have a favorite memory as a Razorbacks fan? And then we'll move into the Padres kicking on the Reds' ass this week. And, we'll talk about one team going in the right direction, one team going in the wrong direction. But do you have any memories of a Razorback game or anything like that you really hold on to?
The basketball team winning the national championship in 93.
Mm-hmm.
2011 football season, that they went 11-2, top 5 finish, Cotton Bowl win. And that was the year that the SEC had 3 teams in the top 3. Remember, it was LSU, Alabama, Arkansas. That was such a fun year.
Was that McFadden and Felix Jones year? Was the running backs, the smash and dash, was that year?
I think that was after.
Okay.
Yeah, that was after them. I can't remember. I remember they had that really good wide receiver core then. Greg Childs.
Yeah, I know. I remember what team you're talking about now. I just didn't know if that was the Felix Jones, because those teams were fun too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, you guys go 11-2, you're top 3, and you're the odd man out of the national championship watching Alabama and LSU play again. So, but that was like you said, that was a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Padres. Let's talk about the Padres.
We got to touch. What year were you in the Sugar Bowl, Mike?
2011.
2011. Who'd you play in the Sugar Bowl?
That game no longer exists.
Oh, see, I wasn't going to poke the bear. I was going to just let it go. Ohio State won. I didn't want to be that guy, but Jordan can't help himself.
Yeah.
That's what makes Jordan special. But
when they had to vacate that bowl win, I let him have it. I let him have it.
Yeah, he did. For about a year.
Yeah.
Hey, we when you bend the rules and that kind of stuff, you get what you take. But yeah, let's move to your Padres. What about the Padres brought you in? What you said with your dad, but was there a player that really caught your eye? Was there any of that kind of stuff that really caught your eye?
As a young kid, I was a Steve Garvey fan. Steve Garvey hit the walk-off in the '84 NLCS that sent the team to the World Series. I started watching the team the year after that, and he was like the hero then. So I became a Steve fan. Tony Gwynn, obviously. Eric Schau, I was a fan of him, and earlier today, been through a lot of pain. It's been a lot of bad seasons, but I bond over that team.
Right.
It's more than just baseball.
Yeah, I get it. That makes plenty of sense. I mean, with my dad, he's always a Browns fan. Always, grew up watching him watch the team, and it just kind of clicked for me. So I do understand some of that. Mike, let's get back into something we talked about at the beginning. You're a former sports writer.
Yep.
How did you get into sports writing? What got you what got you into that field?
Well, in high school, I figured out that I was pretty decent at writing. I had an English teacher who actually made me aware of that. And just watching sports growing up, it was clear that I wasn't ever going to be a professional athlete, but I wanted to be in it in some capacity. And so I thought doing something I'm good at to, get my foot into it. After I graduated college, my first job was as a sports writer. I was a sports editor at a small newspaper in Missouri, a town called Fayette. I covered high school sports mainly. We had a college in the area, Central Methodist University. You remember the name Tony Harris? That's the
what sport?
Football. She was the first female to skills position player to take a scholarship.
Impressive. Super impressive.
Yeah, so I actually got to be a part of that. That was really cool. I got to meet her and do a story on her, and that was awesome.
That is the fact that you were there at that time and you got it, and that piece of history is incredible. how far did sports writing get for you? What was the highest level you got to cover?
NAIA was
NIA.
well,
Nice.
it's college, FCS.
Yeah. Okay. So, you have this knack for writing. Do you, you went in and then you went into the military. Did you give up writing? Do you write it all now? Where is that taking you? Do you still have a passion for it at all?
I still do it in my spare time. Spare time that I ever have. I do pest control for a living now. I have a very busy schedule, especially this time of year because.
Oh yeah, right when the bugs are all coming out and all that. Yeah, I could imagine being in that field at this time.
Yeah, and since then I've expanded into design and video and just it's more of like a hobby now than anything.
Nice. Mike, obviously we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Jordan, do you have anything to close with for Mike? Mike, yeah, I got one more thing for you, Mike. Sorry, just popped into my head. Obviously, this is Memorial Day weekend. That means a lot to a lot of different people. Do you have something that Memorial Day means to you? Given that you've served and that kind of, you have the family that served. What does Memorial Day mean to you?
That's the day when I think about the people that I knew who are here. When I first got out, I wanted to do this tradition where I'd like run a mile for like each person, and it started out as like a 3-mile run, but it's unfortunately grown, so I no longer do the run. But it's personal for me because these are people that I knew personally, and they're no longer here.
Yeah. We appreciate you sharing that with us, and personally, I'm thankful for everything that has been sacrificed and what you guys have done for our country. So I appreciate you bringing that up and talking to us about that. Again, thank you for your time. I'm glad we've got to interact a little bit on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We appreciate your support, your interactions, all that kind of stuff. It means a lot to us, and we are super, super excited to have you on and get to talk to you, for 15, 20 minutes.
And if I do a shameless plug really quick.
Oh, please do. Please plug away.
All right. I cover the Padres in my spare time. You can find my work at eastvillagetimes.com. East Village Times is a San Diego sports-based website. The main team we cover is the Padres, but they also cover San Diego State sports. Let's see, FC Loyal. Other teams that I can't think of right now. But anything San Diego, we cover.
Yeah. And then, give us that name one more time.
East Village Times.
East Village Times.
VillageTimes.com.
Times.com. Okay, we're gonna tweet that out a little bit later. Yeah, no, of course. Anytime, Mike, you want to come on, talk some sports, just catch up. We appreciate that. I know Jordan, definitely appreciates you coming on and giving us that time. So we'll obviously be in touch. And guys, check out eastvillagetimes.com. We'll definitely check it out and get a little updated on what's going on in that San Diego area. Definitely. Thank you again, Mike, for your time, and see you around. Okay.
Hey, Mike. Yeah. Hey, I love you, brother. We've been through a lot together, a lot more to go. We're definitely gonna bring you on for some more sports talk.
I'd love to do
it. We have a passion for baseball. I'll brush up on some of my hockey. Unfortunately, the Blue Jackets stuck right now again. They had a little bit of success when we were serving together, but those times have long gone. And just this weekend, you and I will be in touch heavily. We got a lot to catch up on. First time 10th Marines forever. Again, I love you, brother. The far cry from being outside in negative 20 degrees, trying to try to stay warm around the generator, playing Uno.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks so much for having me on. Love to be on again. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again, Mike. You have a great rest of your day.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarge.
Okay, Jordan, that was Mike Ursery. That was really a lot of good information, a lot of stuff that we don't think about every day. We don't get to really reflect on, and that's somebody for you from your past who you've rekindled with, got back into touch with, however you want to word it. Really interesting guy. We could have done 20 more minutes and just listen to stories and listen to him talk. So definitely shout out to him. We'll definitely have him on again, and hopefully we get to touch on some more of those stories. And then, at the end there, getting to hear what Memorial Day means to him and what he's, done for this country and what he's seen happen. It's really, really important. So shout out to Mike. Thanks, Jordan, for setting that up and getting him on here and getting to share that story.